Alright, so week 5. I got a lot done this week. My goals were to get 3 different factions seeing each other. So I had to I created an AI controller for each one, um, and then have them do something with that. Uh, and I'm trying to get the team thing working. So I do have I changed the name of the old AI controller to Team A AI controller, and then I have a Team B AI controller and Team C AI controller. Um, they differ in that Team A in the constructor, um, where to go? Oh, it's a the pawn A, or it's in the NPC. No, it's not. Where the heck is it? I'm sorry, the boy is loud. Where the heck did it go? Set generic team ID. Oh yeah, this is it. I set this so it's controller A. Team A is as ID 1. Team B is ID 2, and Team C is ID 3. The player is ID 0. Okay. Basically, the way that the team thing is supposed to work is if they don't have the matching team number, then they're hostile to each other. Otherwise, they're friendly. They don't do anything. Um, so here is where I override the attitude, and because I want each of them to be neutral to one of their teams and hostile to one of their teams. All right. So um, this is Team A, or it's Team B, Team C. Team A is hostile towards Team B, but neutral to Team C. And then Team B is hostile to Team C and neutral to Team A. It's like basically the whole idea is eventually like Team A will attack Team B and run from Team C. Team B will run from Team A and attack Team C. Team C will attack Team A but run from Team B. Basically, I want to eventually get that working, but it's going to have to do an override of these. But I needed to get this system working first. Okay, so uh, here they are. This does work, and then I added the stimuli source component to the NPC and set the stimulus just like with the player. So I set up the stimulus here. It sets the sight stimulus and registers it with the perception system. Um, oh, and let me see. What did I do with the character? There was something else with the character. Player input. I don't need that. Returns a team ID. This sets it in the constructor. I set it to 0. So that the character is 0. And then with the different controllers down here, I was messing with the friendlies, neutrals, and enemies, true, false, false, and all this stuff, trying to make it act differently, right? So right now, each NPC does have a source component, a stimuli source component, and it's registered for sight. So it does set off the sight. However, the way I have the blackboard or the behavior tree execute set up, it always thinks it's the player. So I'll show you that in a second. I have to rewrite those to have it to work with this system. Okay, so, but for now, they do see each other. But the end result, what it results is that once it sees anything and sets off the behavior tree, it starts chasing the player. So here they are. We're going to, if we just hang out and try to stay away from them for a minute until one of them sees the other one. If I can manage to hide from them long enough for them to see each other without seeing. Yeah, they're going to see me first. All right, well, yep. See, now look, blue saw red and they started chasing me because it sees each other, and then each time that sets off that source component, it sets that off. Let's see if I can get it to work another way. So like I guess what I can do is do the oral, so they all run to each other to the same point. And as soon as they stop, oh, it saw me. I'm trying to demonstrate the error, but I think we've already kind of done it. I didn't draw the other two. Alright, there they go. Let's see if I can, if they'll both go there. There, see? She saw him, and then they both started chasing me because all the function does is find my location and move there. Right? So I need to alter that to work with the team system. And every time they see each other, it sets off the can see player. It's kind of annoying. So, let's see. That was... yeah. Right here. Can see player. I'm using it for... so I need to find a way to determine which actor it finds and then find its team so that it does the appropriate, then sets the right variables in the behavior tree. Right. So I already made new keys. Can see A, can see B. Well, first I was just going to use Team A and just get that working to where it does its thing. So it'll run from C and all that stuff, flee. And I was looking at the EQS system because apparently since it uses the environment, like running away is one of the functions I want to make. And it's a lot easier to do in EQS, but even Epic says it's kind of experimental. So like I don't want to use that. So I've come up with an idea on how to do it. I got when one of them sees, like say, A is supposed to run from B or C. So if A sees team C, finds a look at rotation, and then gets the forward vector of that, and then multiplies it by a value, and then moves to that location, like a fleeing NPC location. I've got it kind of figured out, but I needed to get the team thing working first. And as you can see, it's working, but it's not working. Like the NPCs see each other and they set off the stimulus, but in this code here, right here, I need to figure out how to find which actor it is in this array, what type of actor they are, if they're a player or they're one of the NPCs, and then do else ifs for those, so that I know that each team and each. So I'm still kind of working on that. It took me a long time to get this working because I had to expand these to accommodate the 3 different AI controllers, so that all 3 of them do the same things right now, which is pretty good because earlier today they didn't do anything. They just kind of stand there or it'd crash. So it's getting there. It's getting there. I feel like I got more done this week than I did last week. But the team system, it's so archaic, and there really isn't a lot of documentation on how to use it. Like, it does work, but it doesn't work. Like, I can't get it to do anything. Like, here's my enum for the TeamID, and originally I was using this to try to set the this generic TeamID. Like, I had it in the NPC constructor to, like, if action equals team A, then set it to ID 1, for example, right? But it set all of them to ID 1 for some reason. Like, it wasn't working. Like, even though the faction is set on spawn, like, I'd have to figure out another way to do it. Like, I even made another function down here, setup. It's called set faction ID, and it ran in the constructor, but because I don't know, it just didn't work. It set all of them to team 1 no matter what, and I could move them around and mess around with the values, but they're always team 1. So it doesn't work. There's something about the order of operations or something. But yeah, it's coming together. It's getting there. And then the end idea of what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a single level, an area where there are going to be 3 spawn locations on different sides of the arena, and going to spawn an enemy there, and they're going to wander. And when they see each other, they're either going to run or attack. And then once, if like you're running and you get damaged, they'll turn around and respond to the damage and attack whatever's damaging them. And then when they die, a new one will spawn and move out and start padding around. So just to prove that it all works. So I've still got, as soon as the team works, I'll have an on damage stimulus that's going to go in, and then I need to do it's going to be melee. So I'm going to pull a just a punching animation off of Mixamo and put it on here so that the enemies will run up to each other and punch each other and do damage until one of the other them dies, and then when they take too much damage, they'll try to get away. If there's one of the one they're neutral to or whatever, it could be friendly to the other one, and they'll run. It's like I almost need to make a fourth faction so they have a hostile, neutral, and friendly. So each of them has somebody they can run to that will help them. Still mapping that all out. It's like a big Venn diagram. It's kind of annoying, but it's getting there. And please, if you have any sources on the affiliation stuff, the where'd it go? This stuff, AI Sense Team, because it's working. Like I can set them to different team IDs, and by messing around with the sense, I can make it only sense friendlies, for example, and it won't sense the player at all. But it'll as soon as it sees one, it'll come after the player, because that's the way the action is set up to do. It finds the player's location and chases the player. So like as each of them sees each other, it's like, hey, he's over there, and he runs over to me. But so the sensing part's working. Just I spent hours getting to this point, changing, and then as soon as I figure out how to pull the type of actor that's setting off the sense, which if you have any tips on that, that's also cool, because I've been hunting for that for a while too, and I haven't managed to do it. Yeah, as soon as I can figure out which actors set off the stimulus and then act according to that and what team they are, then the rest of the stuff should fall right into place. So that's where I am. I'm further ahead than I was. I'm very happy about that, and I'm going to end this really, really long video, and take care.